Hello everyone and welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We're continuing our road to Full Gear, getting to the last week of September, or last shows of September. And I will just say this, in the next few weeks, we will be getting quite a lot of big new debuts. But that's neither here nor there, we're just continuing on, as to start off our tournament, our proper first round of the women's tag team, not title tournament, but just their tag tournament. The Nightmare family of Jordan Grace and Allie, who were both led by Brandy Rhodes, and QT Marshall's there, I guess, defeated the slapped-together team of Mary Dobson and Killer Kelly. The Butcher and the Blade then defeat Willie Mack and Sean Spears. Just kind of threw those two together on a tag team. Mayu Iwatani and Serena Deeb then... that was a bad voice crack. Defeat former women's champion Riho and her mentor Emi Sakura, whatever you want to say. I've just brought her back in to... mainly for the tournament. Also kind of to job her out. Speaking of jobbing someone out, Priscilla Kelly defeats Melina. Britt Baker and Kylie Ray failed to pick up a win against the Dark Order's Anna Jay and Taynara Conti. Ricky Starks defeats Flamita. And Zombieland Saga, which is Maki Ito and Abaddon, defeat Nyla Rose and Big Swole after Abaddon picks up a pin on Big Swole. Our show of Dynamite begins with the Vision, Matt Sydal, and Lance Archer defeating Proud and Powerful after Lance Archer picks up the pin. Following the match, Jake Roberts enters the ring. He has a mic in his hand, and he's just talking. He says, "Tag team wrestling. Something this company is priding itself in. Teams like FTR, like the Young Bucks, Jurassic Express, hell, even the former champions, Adam Page and Kenny Omega. All of them certainly fantastic, but nothing like what the Murder Hawk Lance Archer and the Monk Matt Sydal have been able to do. What started off with just a small team-up at the Casino Battle Royale is going to lead to killing our way through the tag division. See, there's too much clutter, too much gunk in the singles division, when the prize is the teamwork of tag team titles. Lance will get that world title eventually, don't get me wrong, but we've got something else on our minds. What better way to grab attention then, but by going for the throat? Young Bucks, your heads are about to be mounted on the Murder Hawk's wall." So, of course, during the Casino Battle Royale at All Out, Matt Sydal, Lance Archer, they had a little bit of time where they were working together. That was stopped by Matt Sydal getting super kicked out by Matt Jackson, and then Matt Jackson was eliminated by Lance Archer shortly after that. So it seems like part of the agreement for Matt Sydal going in, for joining Lance Archer, is revenge on the Young Bucks. At least that's what it seems to be for right now. We don't know how long that'll last, but, and if there are other different agreements that Matt Sydal has made, we still haven't heard too much from Matt Sydal. It seems like most of this stuff has been taking place behind closed doors. No cameras have been able to see exactly the negotiations between Roberts, Lance Archer, and Sydal. After this, Renee Paquette is in a sit-down interview, probably recorded earlier in the day, about Kairi Hojo regarding everything with AJ Mendez. There's not really much to say, Kairi says. The VIP's club challenged me to a fight, and AJ lost it for me. Yes, I was hurt at the time, but I still could have taken them down myself. The shot at Shida's title should belong to me, and not the VIP's club. As much as I would like to, I can't make a bid for the women's title until I've proven myself as a better competitor than AJ. She's a talented worker, no doubt, but I am, simply put, the best women's wrestler in this company when fully healthy. If you see AJ, tell her to be on the lookout for me. Of course, Kairi nursing some broken ribs at the time of the pay-per-view, so she didn't really get too much action in the tag team match she had against the VIP's club, and so Kairi, she lost her shot at the title right away, but she's got to work her way back up, still working our way towards having the records really matter. After this, the Private Party, they continue their run of good wins by defeating the Natural Nightmares. Tenille Dashwood then defeats Vipress, and then Deonna Purrazzo, who is at ringside, she gets into the ring, she hands Tenille a mic, and then, as is the case with basically any promo that's with a group, doesn't really matter who says what. As with most promos in this is sort of, I imagine this is what they would actually say on a broadcast. It's close enough for a YouTube series, but, I mean, like, I'm not a professional wrestler, I don't know how to do promos, so, whatever. Anyways, Kairi, you can say all you want about your shot being stolen, but what matters is that we won. We're numbers 1 and 2 in the power rankings, which means we get a shot at Hikaru. So you can try and fight and claw your way back to the top, but we're not going to let you. We're taking that title and we're keeping it as long as we possibly can. Don't worry, we've already figured out how we're going to defend it with the 2 champions, so there's no worries there. That title belongs to the most important people in this company, the VIP's club. And then, MJF, of all people, his music hits. Now, I imagine MJF, he doesn't exactly look in the best shape. We haven't seen him since All Out. He's probably, you know, got bags under his eyes. He's looking pretty exhausted. You know, presumably it's something like, you know, he hasn't been able to sleep much since he lost the title, or since he lost the title match. Of course, he didn't get pinned for that. Pac got pinned for that. That was actually a very specific choice on my part, but we'll get to when that matters soon enough. Anyways, MJF says, so, you want to talk about the most important people in the company? Well, I can't exactly say that I agree, but I can see somewhat where you're coming from. I mean, you've taken charge as the breath of fresh air into the women's division it's really needed, and you've certainly held yourselves up to such a standard. I won't deny that you're the most important women on the roster, so why not pair up with the most important man? See, I've come to realize something. Stables seem to be all the rage nowadays. Cody's got his posse, Brody Lee's got his minions, Jericho has a bunch of lackeys, Pac's got his circle jerk, oh, sorry, triangle jerk. So, I thought, why don't we bring the most important people in this company together? I won't interfere in matches or anything, oh, of course not, I'm a chivalrous man, but sometimes you need a little bit of backup, a backstage sway, huh? So what do you say? And Tenille, Deonna, they kind of look at each other, they probably say a little bit, I didn't add any more because I knew I was running out of space. Probably say something like, it's a bit of a weird offer, we don't really know how much you can really give us. Women's division is pretty separated from the men's division right now, as in there's basically no intergender wrestling. So, you know, really, Deonna Purrazzo, Tenille Dashwood, they don't really know what they get out of this. And at the same time, they don't know what MJF gets out of this either. So they're talking to each other, they're considering it, they're like, alright, what do we do? And they say that they'll just get back to MJF another week. Boy and his Dinosaur, Jurassic Express, they defeat Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. Darby Allin then defeats Jeff Cobb, and after the match, Darby, he's attacked from behind by the other members of Team Taz, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Taz, he comes to the ring, he's laughing, he says, "Hey, Darby! There you are, you little punk! I was wondering when I could find you. I mean, it's like finding a needle in a haystack. Compared to the machine, Brian Cage, absolute rookie Starks, and the chosen one, Jeff Cobb. Giants among men, and you're what, 90 pounds? Look, we're tired of you acting like you're hot shit. You're just shit, Darby. Shit with stupid facepaint and a dumb little skateboard. You're nothing, Darby. Stop trying to cosplay as a freaking skeleton and actually get some meat on your bones. I'm just here to help you, Darby. Oh, I don't have that. Afterwards, all three members of Team Taz, they triple powerbomb Darby to the outside of the ring. That's the stunt bump. So really, Taz, is there a bonus for... No, it's not going to say that there's a bonus for anything. Alright. But, yeah, Darby Allin, right now, I still am not the best at figuring out how to start feuds, but especially, like, mid-card feuds, because this is really a mid-card feud. So, you know, Taz right now, he just wants to be a coach for Darby. He wants him to be healthy. I mean, he's skin and bones. So, that's the rationale there. Adam Page and Bandito defeat the Best Friends. Adam Page and Bandito, they had a singles match last week. They seem to bond together after that. And this time, they team up. Beat the Best Friends. After the match, Jon Moxley's music hits, and the champ makes his way to the ring from the crowd. And he says, "So, you're looking a little bit alone there, huh, Page? Look, I get it. We all make mistakes from time to time. You made one mistake, and it got all your friends to turn on you. Don't worry, I've been there before." You're at least making a bit of friend in Bandito, it seems, but in a cutthroat business like this, I think you ought to get a few more friends than just that. Look, you already know where I'm going with this. Join me in taking out that son of a bitch Miroslav. You help me beat his ass, I'll give you something Kenny's jealous of. A world title shot. Bandito, you're welcome in line after Page loses too, so what do you say? And before they can answer, Miro, his music hits, and he's on the stage, says, "You're making a bold move, Moxley, trying to intimidate me with the former champ, announcing who you're recruiting to the world. Well, it won't work. Page and Bandito, they're good wrestlers, but they're nothing compared to what I've brought along. See, Page isn't the only one who wants a world title shot after me. Oh, no, no, no. That's something everyone wants to jump in line for. You want to play games? You want to reveal your hand early? Well, I'll be happy to oblige. Chris Jericho, Brian Cage, Miroslav. We'll take you down, Mox. I'll take your title. I'll break your bones. I'll break your wife. I will end you." And then, main event, very disappointing, actually. That's really disappointing. And the final segment's good. Brody Lee, he picked up the win over Cody in a very short time. Next match, there's commentary's just stunned with how well Cody did, or how well Brody did in defeating Cody. And the Nightmare Family, they go out, they're trying to help Cody, but they're quickly attacked by the rest of the Dark Order. Of course, all the members of the Nightmare Family, they had matches earlier in the day. So, you know, Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, they lost against the Private Party. Allie, Jordan Grace, Brandy Rhodes, they did pick up a win against Killer Kelly and Mary Dobson, I believe it was. And that was a hard-fought match. Yes, Tay Conti and Anna Jay, they also had matches beforehand, but, I mean, this is just also part of the numbers game. So, yeah, Brody, he gets into Cody's face, starts yelling at him, and he says that he never deserved the championship in the first place. He only got it because he's the guy in charge of, you know, he's one of the executive vice presidents. That's the only reason he had a title to begin with. And he's kind of watching, he's very happy at how well the Dark Order is doing, destroying the Nightmare Family. Throws Cody out of the ring, and then he kind of goes after him. He's still yelling at him. Throws Cody headfirst into the ring post. Cody's busted open. He's very much bleeding. And Brody, he stands tall, 1 foot over the executive vice president. Has managed to come to him. The show ends. Very disappointing, mainly because of the main event. It's, I mean, I'm still happy with that, I guess. More content is probably the better word, but it's fine. I was hoping we could get 70s every show, but I'm fine with a 67, I guess. We continue on. We get to our next week of Dark and Dynamite in the next episode.